Hey everyone, Adnan here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up FlowBookings, the native booking and appointment solution built for Webflow. Let's jump in. There are two ways that you can get started. You can either sign up from a web app or you could install a Webflow app first and then sign up for the web app. Okay, I'm going to walk you through both of them. You can land on a website and sign up for the web app, complete the steps over here, and you'll be good to go. And then you will install the Webflow app. That's option number one. Option number two is that you go to Webflow, you install a Webflow app first. So I'm going to show you how to install the Webflow app. Let's say I want to install this for this project. So once the Webflow app is installed, you can launch the app right here, and then you'll be greeted by the sign up or login screen. So if you have created a FlowBookings account before on a web app, then you can just use your login details and log into your account from here. If not, then you can click on the sign up button and it will take you to a web app. You need to sign up for the web app, and once you're done, you can log into the web app after that. Either way works. You'll land on the FlowBookings dashboard once you're in, and you'll see the Webflow app once you've logged in like this. Now the first thing that you need to do when you've created a new account, go to your global settings and set your working hours. Now I have already set up this account, so I'm not gonna set these working hours now, but you can do so like that. You can make changes to it. I'll revert back the changes. You can set your time zone and you can hit save to save all of your changes. Once you're done with the global settings, you can head on to services to create services. Now in services, we also have an option for creating categories, which can be used to organize your services in a better fashion for your customers or for your internal purposes. You can be creative and you can figure out different ways to use this and organize things. This, however, is a test account, so I already have a bunch of services created in it, and I'll create a new category and service just for this video demo. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a category. I'll go ahead and create. Okay, once the category is created, you can head on to the new service modal and you can name your service. Let's call it hair spa, and let's give it a category of the testing services. Okay, you can choose the duration of the service. It can be in minutes, it can be in hours. So I'm going to choose 45 minutes for now, and you can choose a buffer time if it makes sense for your business logic. Buffer time can be added before the service happens, or it can be added after, or both. It totally depends on you. Now the next thing is you can add a price to the service. This price, however, doesn't mean that you also take payments for these services. That is a whole different topic. I'll come to that later on. But you can define a price for the service over here. For the demo's sake, I'll define $10 as the price of this. Now the next thing is maximum capacity. This is by default set to 1, which is the standard process. But if you want multiple people to be able to book a single slot, then you can change this, and you can change this to any number that you want. Okay. Moving on, customers can't schedule within. You can choose how many days the customers need to book in advance. So if it's set to 0 by default, it's going to let the customers book time slots for even today or tomorrow. But if you set this to like 1 day, then they can only book slots 1 day after today. So that's how this works. You can add a description for the service if you want. Okay, and you can see the changes over here. As you just saw, the service got created, and now the next step in the process is adding the booking form to your Webflow site. Now for this, head on to Webflow, go to your site where you installed the Webflow app and launch the Webflow app. Once you've launched the Webflow app, it'll take a bit of time to load. Once it's loaded, you'll see the form builder. Okay, and in this form builder, you can configure what kind of form that you want. We have a lot of different configurations that you can create for your booking forms depending on your requirements, and you can play around with these controls to figure out which one works the best for you. You can even see the screenshot demo for this form over here, and this is the default one. If I want, let's say if I want image buttons instead of a drop down for the services, I can see that over here. If you want a horizontal layout for your form, you can see that over here. And let's say if you don't want categories to show up, you can disable categories. You can only display a single service in a form if that's something that you want. This example comes in for like one-off bookings. When you just have a single service in your form, it's better to use this version of the form. You can select the service that you want to be in this form, and I'm going to select haircut for this demo, and this is the single service form that you would see, and this form would directly book appointments for this specific service. You won't be able to book in appointments for different services using this form. You need to create a different form for different services. If you have multiple services, you should go with this multiple service form, and you can choose to display categories depending on the use case that you have. I'm going to choose categories. I'm going to choose the default form, and I'm going to hit copy clonable and insert script. You'll see that the clonable is copied, and if you wait for a bit, the script will be added to your page. This will only be added to the page that you're currently on. So let's see the script over here first. You will see the FlowBooking script being added to the page. Okay. Now once you're done with that, I'll hit save. You can now paste the booking form. Now you see the form over here. Now all of the elements in this form are native Webflow elements, and this is actually a Webflow form that you see over here. These are Webflow input fields. These are all standard fields. This select dropdown, however, is built using the FinSuite select attribute, and that's the reason for that is to provide flexibility in terms of the design of these dropdowns. You can choose to design the form however you want. You can choose to change the layout. You can choose to reorder the fields in any way. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to worry about changing the classes or changing the styles, changing the IDs of these elements. Everything on our forms is working through attributes, and you'll see the attributes added to every single field where they're required. You can find more details about these attributes in our documentation. I won't go into much detail about that in this video. Okay, so now you can do whatever you want with this booking form, and once you're done with it, you can hit publish. Okay, I'm going to hit publish over here. Let's preview it, and we have the booking form over here. Let's see if we have the services. We have the category, testing services. Let's select our service that we created. Let's create a booking now. I'll select a date. Let's select 24th, and I'll select the time. 10:15 looks nice. Okay, once you click and book an appointment, you'll see the payment pop up. Now this is the next thing that we're going to talk about. I'm going to enter dummy payment details over here because this is a testing drive instance. Okay, once your customers pay for this booking, the booking should be created on your dashboard. You can use the default Webflow success message in these forms. That will be shown once the booking is done. So now that the booking is created, let's check it out on the dashboard and see how we created the payment set. Let's go to bookings. That's the booking that we created. You see it over here on the platform. Now you can choose to approve the booking. You can choose to reject it, cancel it, mark it as complete, whatever you want to do, whatever is your business logic. I will go ahead and approve it so that the customer knows that this booking is happening. Now let's look at a few more things that we offer. We send email notifications to all of your customers who create bookings, and emails are sent for different statuses of the booking. Okay, and emails are sent also to the admin if you want, and you can choose to enable or disable these emails. Okay, so by default, the booking approved email, which is enabled, is like this. You can add the content over here for the email. If you want to change it, you can choose placeholders from here. We have quite a few placeholders that you can use, and you can choose to enable or disable this notification. Don't forget to hit save once you're done with it. And you can do the same thing for all different booking statuses, and you can do the same thing for the admin as well. So the admin can be notified, and the data can be different for the admin and the customers in the emails. So booking reminders can also be sent to the admin. So yeah, you can customize the email notifications however you want. Now the next thing is how to collect payments for your bookings. For that, you need to head to the settings and go to payment settings. Okay, and by default this would be turned off for you, but if you want to collect payments for your bookings, you can turn this on. Now once you turn this on, you'll see a default configuration which says collect payments in person. So this doesn't add any further logic to your booking forms. This will just show people that your booking, the service that they're booking, costs so much, and the payment will be collected by you in person from them. Okay, so this is for that. You can choose the currency for the payments. By default, I have set this to US dollars for this demo account. Now, if you want to actually collect payments in your booking forms, then you can choose the Stripe option over here, and then you need to copy the publishable key and the secret key for your Stripe account from the settings. You can Google it and find Stripe documentation to get those keys for your account. So once you've added the Stripe key, you can hit save, and once you've saved it, you can now collect payments on all of your bookings for all of your services. Now you can even control which services cost how much, and you can even control which services are set to free, which services are set have a price, and so on. So if you set the price of a service to 0, that's basically a free service, and payments won't be collected for that service. If you set an amount for the service, by default, Stripe will be enabled for that, and we will collect a payment for that. Now, once you've enabled payments for your FlowBookings account, we automatically start collecting payments on all of your services that have a price set to them. You don't have to add anything else to your Webflow project. You don't have to change anything about the booking form. You can use the same booking form that was added using the Webflow app on your website. Once you're done with all of this, there's one more thing that you can do with FlowBookings, which is setting holidays or days that are off for your business. And these are one-off days. These are not governed by the working hours that you set over here. So I can set my Saturdays to be off, right? But this will set all Saturdays to be off. But if you want to set a particular date or a date range to be off for your business, then you can head over to the holidays in your settings and create that holiday. So I'll say vacation. Okay, and my vacation is from 24th to 27th, and you can choose to repeat this yearly, or you can choose to have this as a one-off holiday. I'll go ahead and save this, as my vacation is just one-off, and these 3 days will be off for my business. You won't be able to book for these 3 days, and that's how it works. And that's it. You're now ready to collect bookings directly in your Webflow site using FlowBookings. We've made everything faster, more flexible, and easier to customize. We would love to hear your feedback and feature requests. If any, you can get in touch with us using our contact forms on our website. Check out our public roadmap and let us know what you'd like to see next, because we're working on features all the time and we're bringing new features to the platform all the time. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.